Hi guys, I just wanted to show you some of the books that I got at my library sale this past month. I was really trying not to buy too many new books this year. I wanted to read more of the books on my unread shelf, but that didn't last very long. I haven't done that well. But the library sale was one place that I told myself, yes, I can buy books. So I wanted to show you a few of the ones that I got. First, I'll start with the side. It's more of the history side. So I got Darkest Hour. This is a book I've actually already started on audio, but I've had an interest in learning more about Winston Churchill and maybe just some of the more political elements to World War II. I know obviously major causes of World War II, but I'd like to know maybe more of the little details of political decisions, military decisions, things like that. Just something that's been interesting to me lately. But I'm gonna try to finish this one. I've listened to like half of it, but I thought might be nice to have a physical copy so I could refer to it or read it that way too. So I got this one for like less than a couple bucks, so not too bad. That's one. I also got Lone Survivor. I actually don't know that much about this book. I know there was a movie about it, and I know a little bit about the movie, but I don't know that much about the book or the story per se, but I'm interested in it. So I got this one. See how it is. Okay, and then I got Devil in the White City. So this is about the World Fair when it came to Chicago, and apparently there was like a serial killer at that time too, in the same area or something. So all I know is that this book is about the World Fair and also something about a serial killer. So we'll see how this is. Every now and then I get on a true crime kick, just because I like to read about them catching the bad guy. So I'll let you know how this is when I get around to it. Okay, and then I also got this book, which is Gold Diggers by Charlotte Gray. It's about the gold rush to the Klondike, I believe. So this one just looked interesting to me. I picked it up and I kind of read a few paragraphs of it, and it seemed to be written in like a really engaging way. I find that typically if it's like a historical nonfiction book and it's written by a woman, I tend to like it a little bit better. My theory is that I think that a lot of women writers who are writing historical nonfiction tend to focus more on the like stories of the individual people, whereas more of the ones by men are focused on like the facts, if that makes sense. But that's just a generalization. But just in my experience so far, I've had good luck as far as engaging writing from women writers who've written historical fiction. So I have high hopes for this one. We'll see how it is. Did I say historical fiction? I meant historical nonfiction. You guys know what I mean. Okay, and then I also got The Great American Railroad War. So this one is just about, I guess, building the railroad and the westward expansion of the United States, which I don't know that much about the people involved with that or anything. So I don't know, like it looked kind of interesting. This one might be a little bit written in a different way, but we'll see how I like it. Okay, and then so that was all the more, well, I take it back. I've got one more historical kind of one. This one is Unbroken, which I've seen the movie, but I'd like to have a copy of the book, and I've just heard a lot about Laura Hillenbrand. I'm saying that right, yeah. And that her writing is really good, so I'd like to check it out for myself. Okay, so that's all my history books, and then, well, I guess more American-related history books. And then I got a stack of other kind of books here. So I picked up Call the Midwife. I have not watched the TV show of this. I know when I shared my book haul on Instagram, a lot of people were like, oh, Call the Midwife, because they've watched the TV show and they thought it was really good. But I haven't really watched the TV show that much. I watched like a couple of episodes, and it was good, but I don't know, it was just okay. So I'm interested to see if the book's good, or maybe it'll make me want to give the TV show another shot. If you have watched the TV show or read the book, let me know, because I'd like to know what's your favorite. Okay, and then I got This book was kind of different. So I just read the back of this book and it looked really interesting. It's about a family who moves to Africa. I think the father or husband in the family is a game warden on a preserve or something in Africa. So it's about their life there, but the interesting part is that there's apparently a lion that they rescue when he's a cub or something, but it ends up being kind of like a family pet. So that's kind of interesting for obvious reasons, and I wanted to see what that was about and what I thought about that. So there was that. Okay, and then I kind of picked up a few food related. Yeesh. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Okay, and then I got a few food related books. So I got the Comfort Food Diaries. Last year I read a food memoir it was called Voracious, and it was actually about like recipes inspired by books. So that was a really great food memoir if you are looking for something like that. But ever since reading that one, I kept like kind of wanting to read something else similar to that, and I thought maybe this might fit the bill. So this is about, I think, just food related musings, but also related to how the author is dealing with her grief, because I think her brother dies or something like that. So it sounds interesting. I'm curious to give it a go. Okay. And then I got, as always, Julia, The Letters of Julia Child and Avis Devato. Am I saying that right? So I don't know that much about Julia Child. I've seen the movie, but I haven't read any of her books, or the main one about her. What's the main biography about her? I'm sure one of you knows. But anyway, so this one just looked kind of good. Sorry, my setup is not working today. This one just looked kind of good, and I thought I would give it a try and learn a little bit more about Julia Child. Okay, and then last one. All right, then I picked up this one, which is about candy. The cover kind of caught my eye because it's just so colorful, but apparently this book is about, is that a bug? Sorry. Apparently this book is about just like the history of candy, why people started making it, how they make it now, and I think particularly also like candy's role in culture. So it sounds interesting. I'll see how it is. I thought, like, just based on the cover, it looked kind of old because it's kind of, I don't know if it's just this copy or if that's intended, but it looks kind of yellowed. But it was actually written in 2013, so it's not that old. But I haven't ever seen this around or anything, so I'm totally blind. We'll see if it's good, but it looks kind of interesting. And that was it. I guess the other thing I got was just this set, Lord of the Rings set that I have here. I wanted to reread Lord of the Rings this year, and I bought The Fellowship, and I think The Two Towers in a different set, but this one was not that expensive, and it was the whole set, same kind of books, and I just kind of have a thing for vintage books, so I had to pick this one up. But that was it. That's all I got for myself. Pretty much everything else that I picked up was like kids books or books for our school, since I homeschool my kids and things like that. So but those are the ones I got just because they looked interesting to me, and clearly I was in the historical, nonfiction, and memoir kind of mood because that's all I got. But anyway, if you've read any of those, I'd be really interested to hear if they're good or not. You can tell me which one I should read first, or if I wasted my money on one of them. So let me know what you think, if you've read any of them, or if you've seen any of the movies that are associated with these books, and I'd just be interested to hear what you guys think. So that was my book haul, and I probably have another one coming up soon because I got a lot of gift cards for my birthday, which I'm probably going to use on books, so keep an eye out. Okay, hope you're having a good evening and that you have or had a good 4th of July weekend, depending on when I share this video. So, okay, bye.